Only 7 minutes left. Heaven just released billions in your name. But if you don't open this now, you won't receive a single part of it. My child, my beloved, I need you to sit down before you read what I'm about to say. What's happening right now in the spirit realm is so much bigger than you imagine. You have 7 minutes, and I don't say that lightly. I am not here to make you fear. I am here to make you aware because something enormous just happened in heaven, and your full name is on the release. My child, my beloved, Archangel Michael is not sent without cause. And I was not sent to give you a simple message of hope. I was sent because time is running out. A divine transfer has just been triggered. It is massive. Heaven just approved it. A release has occurred in the spirit books, and what's been held up for years has finally been signed. This is about wealth, favor, land, opportunity, and protection from what was silently working against you. But here is what you don't see. If you don't open this, the release becomes void in the realm of time. Because God honors timing. You've asked for miracles, and now the heavens are sending instructions. What you do in the next few minutes matters more than what you did in the last few years. My child, my beloved, stop scrolling. Don't wander away from this moment. Please hear my voice. I've stood in silence long enough watching others take what was meant for you. This is not just a message. This is a heavenly intervention. The billions, yes, literal billions in spiritual inheritance have been held in your name. But demons of delay, family curses, hidden betrayal, and fear have slowed your hands. And tonight the chain was finally broken. But only if you receive this with your whole spirit. My child, my beloved, before I reveal what this is, let me ask you one question. How many times have you delayed what God already confirmed in your heart? How many opportunities were lost because you second-guessed the voice that tried to warn you? You prayed for open doors. You asked for signs. But when the answer showed up, you waited. That delay is what the enemy uses. This is not about fear. This is about awareness. This is about a divine release that has your name on it. And this time, heaven is not whispering. Heaven is shouting. My child, my beloved, before you go further, I'm going to ask you something important. I need you to subscribe to this message. Not just to be part of something, but because it's time you walk with the ones heaven is appointing, not the ones the world is pointing at. Subscribe not for views. Subscribe for vision. The kind of vision that allows you to see when God is actually doing something. Because in the next few paragraphs, I will reveal what God has written concerning you. And if you do not open your spirit, you will miss the shift entirely. Subscribe right now because this message is not coming again. This message was nearly stopped 3 times before you saw it. But heaven overruled every block so that you could receive it. My child, my beloved, the reason you feel the goosebumps right now, the reason your heart is racing is because your spirit recognizes what your mind doesn't yet understand. You are not just reading words, you are being summoned. Do you understand how rare this is? Most people walk through their lives never knowing when the scroll in heaven with their name is opened, but yours was. and Archangel Michael was assigned to deliver the alert. That means you are being called not just into awareness, but into possession. My child, my beloved, let me show you the truth now. The money you keep worrying about, the delays you keep feeling, the setbacks you've silently endured, none of it was because you're unlucky. It's because you were marked for greater, but also marked as a threat. That's why the warfare has been quiet and sharp. That's why betrayal came from the people closest to you. That's why your own family, two people in particular, have quietly taken what was meant for you. Heaven just revealed their names. And don't worry, God is not asking you to take revenge. God is asking you to wake up. My child, my beloved, this is the part where most people walk away. They say, I'll come back later, or this is too much, and that's why they stay stuck. But not you, because if you've read this far, you are already different. You already feel it. Your body is in this moment, but your spirit is ahead of you. Something ancient is unfolding. Something generations before you prayed to see, but you were chosen to receive. My child, my beloved, the next 7 minutes are prophetic. A clock has started in heaven. The angels are standing in position and your miracle is literally hovering. Do not let doubt steal it. What you were meant to hold, the wealth that was meant to heal your household, the financial shift that was meant to set you free from begging and struggling, all of it is real and all of it is near. But only if you say yes. Yes to God's voice. Yes to divine timing. Yes to walking away from distractions. My child, my beloved, I'm going to continue revealing what was signed in your favor and who has been working against it. But I need you to promise something first, that you won't close this message until you've heard every word. If you break the flow, you break the revelation. And if you break the revelation, the miracle doesn't land where it was supposed to. So stay here. Listen, because I will show you what's coming next and it will change everything. My child, my beloved, I want you to stay exactly where you are. Don't scroll. Don't click away, because now I'm going to show you something heaven has waited a long time to reveal. There are two people close to you by blood or bond who have knowingly stepped into something that was never theirs. They moved quietly. They spoke softly. They masked their actions with love. But God saw it all. And that's why this message was not delayed another day. Because the books in heaven have been opened and the record has been corrected. My child, my beloved, one of them used your silence against you. The other used loyalty. They believed you would never find out. They believed heaven would let it pass. But when you wept in secret, when you questioned why nothing ever worked in your favor, when you kept doing good but saw others steal the reward, that's when the angels were dispatched. Not just to comfort you but to investigate, and now here I am bringing the report. Heaven has ruled in your favor and the release is ready. If you are my child, my beloved, I want you to stay exactly where you are. Don't scroll. Don't click away. Because now I'm going to show you something heaven has waited a long time to reveal. Drop a $20 super thanks if this video helped you. Your support keeps me motivated. There are two people close to you by blood or bond who have knowingly stepped into something that was never theirs. They moved quietly. They spoke softly. They masked their actions with love. But God saw it all. And that's why this message was not delayed another day. Because the books in heaven have been opened and the record has been corrected. My child, my beloved, one of them used your silence against you. The other used loyalty. They believed you would never find out. They believed heaven would let it pass. But when you wept in secret, when you questioned why nothing ever worked in your favor, when you kept doing good but saw others steal the reward, that's when the angels were dispatched. Not just to comfort you but to investigate. And now here I am bringing the report. Heaven has ruled in your favor and the release is ready. If you are my child, my beloved, don't miss this part. The moment the truth was brought before the throne of God, time shifted. What you thought would take years to change was altered in seconds. The wealth that was being blocked is no longer held back. And I am speaking not just of money in the physical, but of the spiritual assignments, promotions, partnerships, and divine alignments that were stolen from you behind closed doors. But now the doors are opening one by one, click by click, decision by decision. And this decision to stay and receive this message will be remembered in the records of your destiny. My child, my beloved, the two people who quietly took what was meant for you are going to experience something unexpected. Not because God wants to punish them, but because heaven is holy and restoration cannot come without realignment. They will begin to feel exposed, unsettled. They'll question how you found out, but they won't know that it was never you who discovered them. It was God who revealed it, and it was me who was sent to tell you so that you don't waste another minute thinking it was your fault. My child, my beloved, I must show you something strange but true. When heaven opened the financial scroll bearing your name, it didn't only show numbers, it showed purpose. Your destiny is connected to what was being held back. That's why this is bigger than a money problem. This is about restoration of identity. You were meant to build something with that blessing. You were meant to travel, to give, to heal others, to break generational pain. And the enemy knew that if he could trap you in just surviving, you would never step into thriving. But heaven has just broken that chain. My child, my beloved, pause and feel this next truth deep in your spirit. The reason you've been waking up with anxiety, the reason your chest has felt heavy, the reason your thoughts have been cycling in confusion, it's because something in the atmosphere changed. Your soul has been feeling the shift but didn't have words for it. I'm giving you those words now. Heaven has ruled in your favor. You are not cursed. You are called. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. And today is the confirmation. My child, my beloved, let me speak directly to your questions. Yes, God heard your prayers. Every single one. Even the ones you whispered while washing dishes, while sitting in traffic, while holding back tears. And heaven never ignored you. Timing is not denial. It was preparation, because if this had come before today, you wouldn't have been strong enough to see who was really with you and who was just near you for the benefit. But now you're ready. Now you're clear. Now you're not afraid to walk away from the ones who secretly walked over you. My child, my beloved, stay with me. The billions that were released are not an exaggeration. I'm not speaking in metaphor. I'm speaking in measure. The inheritance that belongs to you is tied to something greater than a paycheck. It's tied to heaven's economy, and that economy never crashes. That system never goes bankrupt. But the enemy tried to crash your belief, tried to bankrupt your hope. And if you had skipped this message, you would have missed the confirmation that God is already moving on your behalf. My child, my beloved, you need to understand this. The countdown isn't fear-based. It's divine alignment. Some blessings are only accessible during appointed windows. This is one of them. You've seen doors open for others and wondered why yours stayed shut. But that's because this door wasn't like the others. It needed an angelic announcement. It needed a heavenly escort. It needed your obedience. And now you're in position. But don't stop now. Don't delay. Because when the 7 minutes are up, the scroll will be sealed and the decision will be yours alone. My child, my beloved, if you're still here, I want you to know something sacred. You are seen. You are heard. You are not reading this by mistake. This isn't random. This is prophetic precision. This is how heaven works when it's time to restore what was stolen. This is not a test. This is an activation, and your soul knows it. That's why you're still reading. That's why you feel what you feel right now. The weight, the wonder, the warning. It's all from the heart of the one who still calls you child. My child, my beloved. I told you this message would not stop until everything hidden has been brought into light. Now I must tell you what happened behind the scenes, not on earth, but in the spiritual courts of heaven. Without you knowing, a session was held. The angels gathered. Your name was spoken aloud. And when the records were opened, God Himself stood to declare, what was stolen must be returned. What was delayed must now be released. What was blocked must be broken open. And heaven agreed. The moment that decree was made, the countdown began. My child, my beloved, while you were sleeping, while you were distracted with life's burdens, this transaction was already in motion. But it could not manifest until you were spiritually awake. That's why this message was delayed 3 times. There were dark forces trying to keep it from reaching you. Why? Because once you knew what was happening, they'd lose all control. They knew that once the truth hit your soul, you'd stop settling for leftovers and start claiming inheritance. And now you're doing exactly that. My child, my beloved, I told you this message would not stop until everything hidden has been brought into light. Now I must tell you what happened behind the scenes. Not on earth, but in the spiritual courts of heaven. Without you knowing, a session was held. The angels gathered. Your name was spoken aloud, and when the records were opened, God Himself stood to declare, what was stolen must be returned. What was delayed must now be released. What was blocked must be broken open. And heaven agreed. The moment that decree was made, the countdown began. My child, my beloved, while you were sleeping, while you were distracted with life's burdens. This transaction was already in motion, but it could not manifest until you were spiritually awake. That's why this message was delayed 3 times. There were dark forces trying to keep it from reaching you. Why? Because once you knew what was happening, they'd lose all control. They knew that once the truth hit your soul, you'd stop settling for leftovers and start claiming inheritance. And now you're doing exactly that. My child, my beloved, this is no longer about just what you will receive. This is about what you are about to become. Your identity is shifting from borrower to lender, from hidden to highlighted, from forgotten to favored. The transformation has already started, but you'll feel the full weight of it when you allow this word to go deep. Don't skim it. Don't rush it. Breathe with it, because as you're taking this in, the Spirit of God is moving through every spiritual chain still attached to you and breaking them one by one. My child, my beloved, now let me answer the question you didn't speak aloud. The one your heart keeps asking in private. How do I receive it? The answer is not complicated. You receive it by alignment, by believing this moment isn't a coincidence, by stopping the scroll and choosing to say, "Yes, God, I hear you." You receive it by obedience. When God sends a word and you respond with honor and attention, that's when manifestation happens. The blessing is already assigned. Your yes is the final key. My child, my beloved, let me give you a holy mystery. When heaven wants to deliver something quickly, it often bypasses systems and speaks directly to souls. That's why you are here now. That's why you've been pulled into this moment. God knew this was the only way to get your attention fast enough before the opportunity passed. And I must warn you, if you delay again, what was released can be reassigned. Heaven honors willing vessels, not wandering minds. Focus. Stay here. Say yes, my child, my beloved. The scroll that was opened in heaven did not have just a number written on it. It had names. Names of people you were meant to help. Names of families you were meant to bless. Names of children you were meant to save. You thought the money was just for your survival, but heaven saw it as your assignment. This is not about riches for pride. It is about resources for purpose. And those resources have now been unlocked. But only one person can receive them. You, my child, my beloved. Let me tell you something only heaven could know. Your heart has been weary, not just tired from life, but deeply weary from delay. You've been trying to be strong for others, to pretend everything's okay while hiding your own silent breakdown. But heaven didn't ignore that pain. And that's why I'm here, not just to speak financial restoration, but emotional resurrection. Your soul is coming alive again. You are not just getting money, you are getting you back. My child, my beloved, listen carefully now. The 2 people in your family who tried to sabotage you will soon feel the shift. One of them will try to reconnect with kindness. The other will grow distant with guilt. Do not fear either response. This is not your battle to fight. It's God's. Your only job is to stay in alignment. Don't chase. Don't confront. Don't crumble. Rise. Stand still. And watch the hand of God vindicate you in ways no argument ever could. My child, my beloved, you must understand what I'm about to say. Spiritual wealth is not delayed by accident. It's usually delayed by warfare. But the fact that you are reading this now means the war is already turning. Archangelic forces have been released to enforce what was signed on your behalf. You no longer need to fight. You only need to know. And now that you know, you can no longer pretend this is just another message. This is a turning point, a line in the sand, a shift in your atmosphere. My child, my beloved, breathe this in. The financial drought ends tonight, not just because heaven is generous, but because your time has come. God's timing is never early and never late. And though you've asked, why not sooner? Heaven is saying, because now you're ready, ready to carry it, ready to manage it, ready to protect it, ready to walk in boldness instead of fear. You are no longer the person who would have wasted it. You are now the person who will multiply it. My child, my beloved, I know your heart is beating a little faster now, and that's not a coincidence. That's confirmation. Something in you is waking up to the truth that this message is not random. It is not another video. It is not just a voice. It is a spiritual summoning, and you have arrived right on time. The billions that were released with your name on them were preserved through storms you didn't even see. But now I'm going to show you how God protected what was yours even when others tried to steal it in silence. My child, my beloved, while the enemy thought he was clever, while those two family members were smiling at you and plotting behind your back, there were angels stationed at the gates of your destiny. They could not stop the attack, but they were authorized to preserve the promise. That means what was taken will be returned with interest. What was delayed will come with double, and what was spoken over your life in secret will be shouted from the mountaintop of your testimony. No one can curse what heaven has blessed, not even blood relatives. My child, my beloved, I know your heart is beating a little faster now, and that's not a coincidence. That's confirmation. Something in you is waking up to the truth that this message is not random. It is not another video. It is not just a voice. It is a spiritual summoning. And you have arrived right on time. The billions that were released with your name on them were preserved through storms you didn't even see. But now I'm going to show you how God protected what was yours even when others tried to steal it in silence. My child, my beloved, while the enemy thought he was clever, while those two family members were smiling at you and plotting behind your back, there were angels stationed at the gates of your destiny. They could not stop the attack, but they were authorized to preserve the promise. That means what was taken will be returned with interest. What was delayed will come with double, and what was spoken over your life in secret will be shouted from the mountaintop of your testimony. No one can curse what heaven has blessed, not even blood relatives. My child, my beloved, I must tell you the truth. There was a curse operating over your finances. It was not something you created, but something that came through generational disobedience. That's why money would come and then disappear. That's why things would go well for a few days and suddenly fall apart. That's why every time you got close to breakthrough, something strange would happen to block it. But now the curse has been broken. This message is the final sign. The moment you receive it with belief, the bloodline is cleansed and what was stolen begins returning from directions you didn't even expect. My child, my beloved, God didn't just break the curse. He rewrote the contract. In the courts of heaven, a decision was made to release what had been locked. I saw the scroll myself. Your name was bold. Your season was written clearly. It said approved for restoration. And now I'm telling you what's about to happen next will look sudden to the world. But heaven has been preparing it for years. That's why you felt unusual lately. It's not stress, it's transition. Your spirit already knows what your life is about to catch up to. My child, my beloved, here are the signs you must watch for. These are confirmations that the wealth is moving toward you in the physical. First, you will receive unexpected communication from a person or source that has been distant but now suddenly wants to connect. Don't ignore it. Second, you'll see patterns begin to break. Things that used to trigger you will no longer disturb you. That's a spiritual sign that you're stepping into new authority. Third, a financial opportunity will come that looks small, but it will be the door to something immense. Don't judge it by its cover. Judge it by your peace. My child, my beloved, let me say something you haven't been told clearly enough. You are ready. You've been through enough fire. You've endured enough pain. You've matured through the delay. The wealth is not being released because you're lucky. It's being released because you're equipped. And heaven does not waste blessings. That's why it waited. But now that you've shown the strength to open this message, to keep reading when your flesh wanted to skip, you've proven to God that you are a vessel He can trust. My child, my beloved, you may feel alone in this moment. Maybe no one around you knows what you're carrying. Maybe no one understands how deeply you've been fighting to hold on to hope. But I need you to know this. Heaven knows. And I was sent to remind you that you are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are a target of favor. The enemy targeted you because of your calling, but God marked you for recompense. That means restoration with reward, not just giving you back what you lost, but giving you more than you imagined. My child, my beloved, now I will speak something bold. In the next 3 days, there will be a moment where you will be tempted to doubt everything you've read here. Something will happen that feels like a setback, but it is not. It is a final test. Heaven wants to see if you will stay in alignment when things look opposite. Will you believe the scroll or the situation? Will you trust the release or the resistance? Your answer will determine how fast the transfer manifests. But I'm telling you now, if you stay faithful, the wealth will not pass you by. My child, my beloved, every time you've cried over money, over betrayal, over being left behind, the angels recorded it. Heaven has not forgotten one tear, and that is why this wealth has your name written in gold. It is sacred. It is not stolen gain. It is not blood money. It is holy compensation, a divine repayment for all the times you gave when you had little, prayed when you had nothing, and loved when you were broken. This is what heaven calls divine justice, and it is coming now. My child, my beloved, stay with me because what I say next is crucial. If you walk away from this message without finishing it, the full impartation cannot reach your soul. That's why many begin the journey of favor but stop just before the miracle. Don't be like them. Stay, read, receive. Heaven is watching not for perfection but for positioning. And you are finally in position, but you must finish. You must hear all that was released before your spirit can step into what your future is calling for. My child, my beloved, the Spirit is still speaking and I must obey. I see the chains that have been dragging behind you for years, even when no one else could. Chains of fear around your finances. Chains of guilt tied to family expectations. Chains of shame passed down through generations, making you believe that struggle was your inheritance. But hear me clearly, those chains are breaking right now. Not by your effort, but by the force of God's mercy. Heaven is not just restoring what was taken. Heaven is purifying your bloodline through you. My child, my beloved, this is why you felt the weight of battles you never chose. Why you've been cleaning up messes you didn't create. Why you've been carrying burdens that belong to generations before you. Because you are the breaker. You are the one heaven chose to end the cycle. The reason your life paused wasn't punishment. It was positioning. God stopped the flow until you could be brought to this very moment, this very message where the truth could finally be spoken and the healing could begin. My child, my beloved, the Spirit is still speaking and I must obey. I see the chains that have been dragging behind you for years, even when no one else could. Chains of fear around your finances. Chains of guilt tied to family expectations. Chains of shame passed down through generations, making you believe that struggle was your inheritance. But hear me clearly, those chains are breaking right now. Not by your effort, but by the force of God's mercy. Heaven is not just restoring what was taken. Heaven is purifying your bloodline through you. My child, my beloved, this is why you felt the weight of battles you never chose. Why you've been cleaning up messes you didn't create. Why you've been carrying burdens that belong to generations before you. Because you are the breaker. You are the one heaven chose to end the cycle. The reason your life paused wasn't punishment. It was positioning. God stopped the flow until you could be brought to this very moment, this very message where the truth could finally be spoken and the healing could begin. My child, my beloved, now let me show you the reversal that is coming. There is someone who once mocked you, who doubted your decisions, who looked down on you for your faith, for your generosity, for your persistence when you had nothing. That person is about to witness the full weight of God's favor on your life. And it will not be subtle. It will be public. This is not revenge. It's redemption. Not to prove them wrong, but to prove that God was right when He chose you. My child, my beloved, the reversal won't only be financial. It will be relational. People who turned away from you will suddenly try to reattach themselves. You'll see messages from names you haven't heard in years. Some will come with genuine repentance, others with hidden intentions. Ask God for discernment. Don't let pity rewrite your alignment. Some people were removed for your elevation. Do not invite them back just because your table is full again. This time your peace is the proof. Follow peace. My child, my beloved, the physical sign of the financial release will appear suddenly. It may not look like a billion-dollar moment, but it will carry the fragrance of favor. A bank notification, a business email, a phone call, a conversation, even a delay that turns into redirection, you will know it's divine. You will feel a calm inside you, even if your circumstances still look the same. That's your confirmation. From that moment, expect speed. What took 10 years before will now happen in 10 weeks. The delay is over. The curse is broken. The flow has begun. My child, my beloved, you might wonder, why me? Why now? And the answer is simple. Because you were willing. Even when you didn't understand, you kept praying. Even when you were betrayed, you kept believing. Even when the bills stacked up, you still tithed, still gave, still encouraged others. Heaven doesn't reward perfection. It rewards faithfulness. And that is what has brought you to this hour. You didn't miss your moment. You became the moment. My child, my beloved, this is not just about receiving wealth. It's about carrying authority. After this release, you will begin to notice your voice has power again. Your words will shift rooms. Your prayers will carry weight. Your presence will break spiritual atmospheres. That's what favor does. It doesn't just bless you, clothe you, and people will feel it. They will wonder what changed, and the answer will be simple. Heaven spoke your name. My child, my beloved, I need you to guard this moment. Don't rush back to your routine. Don't share this message with people who won't understand the depth of it. This is sacred. This is between you and heaven. This is the scroll being opened in real time. If you protect it, it will bloom. But if you treat it casually, you will delay what was already released. So slow down. Let this word sink in. Let your soul catch up to what your spirit already knows. Everything has changed. My child, my beloved, take a deep breath. What you're feeling now is not just emotion, it's activation. The angels assigned to your release are already in motion. I see them clearing paths, rerouting obstacles, removing names from contracts that were blocking your promotion. I see papers being signed. I see approvals happening in rooms you haven't even entered. It's not your job to make it happen. It's your job to stay aligned. Keep your posture. Keep your peace. Keep your trust. My child, my beloved, what happens in the next 24 hours will be a sign. You'll either feel a deep peace that brings you to tears or a sudden awareness that God is really near. Don't ignore that signal. It's your spiritual receipt, a confirmation that this moment was real. Don't wait for someone else to believe for you. Don't ask for permission. God already signed it. The question is, will you receive it? My child, my beloved, Listen closely now, because what I'm about to share with you is not just instruction. It is an activation key. The wealth that has been released in your name is not simply floating in the spirit. It is looking for landing space. That means it is searching for a vessel, a heart, a home, a space that is aligned with the frequency of heaven. And that is why I'm speaking to you, because your spirit has finally come into alignment. But you must know this. How you prepare now determines how much you receive. My child, my beloved, unlocking the full amount of your divine inheritance is not a matter of begging. It's a matter of receiving with reverence. You do this by clearing space in your thoughts, your habits, and your atmosphere. If your hands are still full of fear, regret, bitterness, or clutter, the blessing will pause at the door. You must make room for it. This means letting go of what no longer serves your destiny. This means being honest with yourself about what has taken too much space in your heart and too much time in your mind. My child, my beloved, the angels assigned to your financial guardianship are now being positioned. Yes, there are angels of wealth assigned by God to not only deliver but protect what is given. In the same way you have bank security in the physical, heaven has security in the spirit. These angels do not respond to emotion. They respond to alignment. They are here now. They are watching you, waiting to see if you will guard this message or discard it. If you honor it, they will act. If you ignore it, they will wait. My child, what I am about to say is very important. Please do not miss it. Do people from your own family have quietly taken something that was mean to bless your life? They did not take it by mistake. They took it because they did not believe you would even find out. But heaven saw it. And now everything is being reserved. God has released a miracle in your name, a large financial blessings, a shift so big that if you knew how close it was, you would drop everything and pray right now. But here's the truth. If you delay, if you ignore this message, it may not reach you in time. You only have a few minutes and movements left before the window close. Heaven has waited for years to give you this. But now the time is short. What was blocked is now open. What was stolen is now returning. But only if you say yes. Only if you receive this with your whole heart. My child, my beloved, unlocking the full amount of your divine inheritance is not a matter of begging. It's a matter of receiving with reverence. You do this by clearing space in your thoughts, your habits, and your atmosphere. If your hands are still full of fear, regret, bitterness, or clutter, the blessing will pause at the door. You must make room for it. This means letting go of what no longer serves your destiny. This means being honest with yourself about what has taken too much space in your heart and too much time in your mind. Drop a $20 super thanks if this video helped you. Your support keeps me motivated. My child, my beloved, the angels assigned to your financial guardianship are now being positioned. Yes, there are angels of wealth assigned by God to not only deliver but protect what is given. In the same way you have bank security in the physical, heaven has security in the spirit. These angels do not respond to emotion. They respond to alignment. They are here now. They are watching you, waiting to see if you will guard this message or discard it. If you honor it, they will act. If you ignore it, they will wait. My child, my beloved, your home, your physical space is about to feel different. You may notice strange things. A sudden breeze with no wind. A flicker in the lights. A moment of stillness where everything feels paused. These are not coincidences. These are signals. Angelic activity is increasing. You have shifted atmospheres, and now the wealth must find its rightful owner. Prepare your space. Bless your home. Clean your corner. Pray aloud over your walls. Say, "This house is ready for God's increase because words create landing zones." My child, my beloved, don't overlook the power of spoken agreement. Right now, say aloud, "I receive what heaven has released. I protect what God has prepared. I welcome the wealth written in my name." These are not just sentences. They are spiritual commands. And the moment you speak them, you create doors in dimensions. You signal to the angels, "This one is ready." You signal to the enemy, "This ground is taken." And you tell your soul, "It is time." My child, my beloved, the next few hours are not ordinary. You may feel sudden urges to cry, to dance, to sit in silence, to pray more than usual. Do not resist these moments. They are spiritual downloads. God is pouring instructions into your subconscious. You may even dream tonight of keys, doors, or numbers. Write them down. They matter. Do not brush them off as random. You are in a prophetic window and everything matters now. My child, my beloved, I see something so beautiful hovering near you. The image of a contract glowing with your name in gold letters. I see angels surrounding it. They are guarding it like treasure because it is treasure. You were never forgotten. You were preserved. And now the scroll has come to you because you're strong enough to protect it. Strong enough to multiply it. Strong enough to handle it without letting it ruin you. That's why it's coming now and not a moment earlier. My child, my beloved, you've asked God why the blessing always seemed to land near you but not on you. And here is your answer. The target was being recalibrated. Heaven needed to make sure the wealth would not crush you but carry you. Now it will. Now the blessing is not your burden. It's your breakthrough. Now your hands are clean enough. Your heart is healed enough. Your mind is still enough. Now finally you are ready to receive the full release. My child, my beloved, I urge you not to stop here. Let this message stay open. Let it play in the background. Let it soak into your atmosphere. Because every word is an oil. Every paragraph is a seal. Every sentence is a sword. And as long as it flows, heaven will continue to move. Don't break the momentum. Don't scroll back into the noise. Let this word be the wall that protects you from doubt, the light that leads you through the fog, and the flame that marks you as chosen. My child, my beloved, I want you to lean in now even more than before. The atmosphere around you is still shifting. The scroll in heaven is still open, and the angels have not stepped back yet. They are waiting for your next move. Because what I'm about to reveal is the part most people never hear. The exact moment your breakthrough is designed to touch the earth. And the sacred words you must speak when it arrives so that no one can ever take it from you again. My child, my beloved, your breakthrough has already been released in the spirit. But it is now on a path to reach your natural life. This journey is not random. It is scheduled. Heaven operates by timing and alignment. That's why in the next 3 days you'll feel an unusual pressure in your spirit. It may feel like urgency. It may feel like excitement. It may even feel like restlessness. But don't mistake it for fear. It's not fear. It's confirmation. That is your sign. The moment is drawing near. My child, my beloved, at the hour it touches earth, you will know. Something will interrupt your routine. It may be a phone call, a knock, a message, a divine pause, and everything will feel different. Time will feel like it slows. Your body may feel light or heavy all at once. This is not anxiety. This is arrival. Heaven will not whisper. It will press. That's your hour. That's your now. Don't dismiss it. Don't say maybe later. That moment is your gate. And if you walk through it with faith, everything changes. My child, my beloved, when it arrives, speak. Not just with your mouth, but with your spirit. Declare these words out loud. God, I receive what you have prepared. I will protect what you have given. No one will steal what you have signed for me. These words are seals. They are contracts in the spirit. They close the mouth of the devourer. They disarm every invisible thief. You must not just think them. You must speak them, because heaven responds to sound, not silence. My child, my beloved, you must also be wise. When the breakthrough begins, do not broadcast it. Do not explain it to everyone. Do not let early access attract early attacks. Keep it private in the beginning. Let it root before you reveal it. Let God establish it before you announce it. The enemy listens too, and if you speak too soon, he will attempt to twist the very thing God just gave you. Remember, conceal to protect, reveal to glorify. You'll know when it's time. Now, I want you to repeat this with me out loud, even in a whisper. God, I receive this blessing. I welcome the miracle you have written in my name, and I will not let anyone steal what you have given. These are not just words. They are keys. When you say them, angels begin to move. Doors begin to open. Your name is already shining in heaven. But now it is a time for the miracle to arrive here in your hands. My beloved, before this movement on, act like your miracle has already started. Do not let fear speak. Do not let the past return. Do not let people who doubted you distract you now. You are chosen. You are covered. This message is your confirmation. The billions that have been released are yours. And because you open this message in time, your life will never be the same again.